and this is called the Huaiyang, and this is the Pingliangtai set. And today we invite all of our viewers with us to enter and experience that a museum that's also the earliest urban drainage system at Pingliangtai. And we have Mr. Chen with us. So, Mr. Chen, what kind of job are you in charge of? So I've been here for that archaeological work and also the archaeological excavation and also exhibition of cultural relics. So we have seen here that in this exhibition hall, we have actually here you could see that the different layers of soil, so that also tell you that the history of this Pingliangtai set. So you could see here, you could see the soil layers. And we also actually, that's the cultural wall. So here you could see that this is at the bottom, that's called Dawenkou. That's more than 5,000 years. And then on top of that, that's the walls and ancient city ruins. And then later on to the Shang dynasty and also to that other dynasty like Chu and Han. So we talk about actually this is more than 4,005 years ago. So for the ancient city of Pingliangtai, the ancestors actually chose this place to build up their city. Do you know the reason why? Shall we take a guess? So basically you could say that this is first by the location. So first it's located at the eastern Henan. So that's a plain here in the eastern Henan. And also this plain has also been influenced by Yellow River and Huaiyang River over a long period of history of time. And also we talk about the major rivers and also the floods. So we talk about actually that the city you could see actually quite well built up. So you could see this is kind of like built on a oval-shaped highland, and then it's also digged the really big hole, so that's the flood resistance. So during that period, you could think about here, you could see actually they also built like trenches. They also have like a defense system, and they also have kind of like a drainage pipes, so kind of like to really channel the water outside the city. So they kind of like form a quite better drainage system. So they also have some wells, so that's basically for day-to-day water usage. So we talk about the geological and also the landform and also the topography. So you could see, let me show you more here. So for this ancient city, actually, you could see actually really the intersection of many large-scale cultures. For example, you have seen that the intersection or transition zone between the Yangshao culture and the Dawenkou, and then to that later on, also influenced by the culture of the Longshan culture. So we talk about it's kind of like influenced by more than 1,000 years of different culture. So we talk about the Pingliangtai actually influenced by many different cultures. So can we really give some vivid examples? So we talk about the influence by Yangshao and Dawenkou cultures. You could see here that actually they use more this kind of like the pottery, so that's a right pottery, and later on influenced by the Sangwang culture. So you could see that it's not, instead of pottery, they use this kind of cups. So we talk about that for the large-scale cultures, actually that element really influence the Pingliangtai. So we kind of like influenced by various cultures and also that integrated into their own culture. And we also talk about that the Pingliangtai, the ancient city, is well known to everyone as that the square city. So can we talk more about that concept? So at the very beginning, when this ancient city were first discovered, that the period was back in 1970s, 80s. So back that time, actually, we not really seen a lot of that the ancient city in this square shape. So we talk about that, but that's 4,000 years ago. That could be the one and the only square-shaped city. So we talk about the other like Liangzhu ruin and Taosi ruin. So they actually larger and earlier in size and period. But you talk about in this well-organized ancient city, we talk about this is actually very important for us to better understand the philosophy of building the shape of the city. So we talk about for urban development, actually that's provide a lot of evidence for us to study. So talk about that this square shape actually is quite the leverage that the scale of the city we talk about that should be actually the most efficient way to use that the resources and area of the city. We talk about that as a square shape. And next, we would like to invite everyone to really go back to the history to talk about how that the ancient people built up that city and how what's their day-to-day life looked like. So we talk about this is really that the square-shaped city. So you could see that the first they built up that around 1 meter that had that model of that the city, and actually then they carry out a sloping work. They kind of that they start to build up that the city, and they actually from the layer based on another layer. So for the top, that's around 8 to 10 meters wide. And that's around 100 to 200 meters long. So through this way, they build up that the symmetrical, the square-shaped city. And also, actually, we talk about from the very beginning, from day one, when they built up that city, they already laid down the pipes for drainage. So actually, we found this kind of the facility at the gate of the city. So we talk about actually when they actually design the whole format of the city, they actually already took that water pipe layout into their design. And also we found, based on the evidence we excavated, they later on actually laid another side of the drainage system. So we talk about actually we found they digged again after they already built out the city. That could be because of the heavier rain, or that the whole city actually more like the emergency management. So we talk about that because of that the flood, or because of that the big rain, actually they laid another layer of the drainage system. So we talk about this is kind of like the earliest urban emergency management case. So talk about that the drainage pipes. So we found that the pipes buried at the gate, so under the gate walls. So you could see there are two gates So you could see that the systems actually is in two layers. The one layer is at even the two rows. We talked about that relatively earlier in the shape of an inverted zigzag. So we talk about the shape actually related to the concept of urban renewal or urban emergency management. So we talk about this is actually quite a well-planned ancient city. We could find that they also actually designed a very nice the central access road. And they also build up the houses. So we talk about that they already have a planned. So which area for what? What's the road? What's the water drainage? Actually, this is based on the excavation. We could find the evidence to support that this is actually well designed and planned before the people actually built that city. So we talk about we could find the evidence for urban emergency management, even at the urban renewal, the projects. So as we also mentioned, so they actually had built the houses. So that's for living, and they also have other functions. So this area we also found that the drinking water wells, and we also found that the location for the large number of tombs, and we also found the two-wheeled vehicle as more than 4,000 years ago, and we also found at the south gate, actually, we found that a different evidence. We talk about actually it's well designed, and they also have different functional zones. And this is actually quite clear about the role played by different function zones. So we talk about that this is actually based on the well-designed picture. So we talk about if later on something went wrong or damaged, what they should do, they fix that. They actually fixed the damaged part. So we talk about that they actually took soils from the front or back to fill in or fix the damaged part. And for that, fix the walls, they fix the houses. They also fix the role of buried, the drainage pipes, or pre-installed the drainage pipes. So the maintenance work actually also carried out. And later on, with more population living in this city, so they needed to expand the area of living houses. So previously, that actually used maybe as a garbage the pit, and actually that we also find the sign of a collapse. So actually, we found more evidence about the plan, design, and how to build a city. And we talk about what's their living look like, what's their life. So maybe let's look at some of the relics. So you could see for this one, this is a portrait, and this kind of like the rain shape and the portrait So we talk about this is actually maybe for that the offering or to worship heaven. So you could see that this is the pattern. So that's actually the pattern we could find the obviously elephant trunks, elephant eyes, ivory tusks. So we found the oriental elements on the objects. So that's the elephant and the design. So that's related to the Shang or Zhou dynasty. So we talk about that the abbreviation for Henan Province is Yu. That's in Chinese also associated with elephant. So this can also illustrate that's why we could find the elephant element on the pottery. So this one we actually also found from the central axis area. So we talk about this is influenced by the culture. This is also show that the aesthetics of the ancestors. So we talk about this is actually you could see that example of the cultural value from the Hebei region, showcasing the integration of diverse cultures. And we also could find that this is actually the bone artifacts of yellow cattle. And we also talk about this bone also for that fortune teller. And we could also find some instrument. So you could really, they show you how what's their life, what's their belief, what's their cultural activity. So actually you could get a glimpse into the spiritual cultural beliefs of the ancients. So we could find that this is a pottery spinning wheel. So we could find some of the symbol of like a lotus. And there's a long horizontal line below the line to the short horizontal lines in the middle and another long horizontal line at the bottom. This is what our archaeologist has observed. And also we talk about that this is also a symbol of the Li Hak Sagram. So we talk about that. This is to reflect the wisdom of the ancients and also their material lives and also the unique aspect in their spiritual and the cultural lives. And this exhibition hall shows us the tools used by people in their production and their daily lives. So that they have the pottery and also the stone tools. And we talk about it because this is really the place is located. And the eastern Henan, that's a plain area. So we talk about this is really show that the influence of diverse culture, the cultural exchange, but in their day-to-day life, you could really see that the exchange to the people from other areas. So we talk about, yes, we could see that some of the relics actually observed that the elements from the various major cultures nearby. And also we could find some of the cultural relics that really reflect the local culture. So you could find this. So we found this one. Actually, this is really show that the filtration device. So we talk about the water actually is taken from rivers or wells and can result in the sediment deposits. So the filtration device used to remove the sands and soils. So we talk about this one called the zeng in Chinese. So this is kind of like a steamer for cooking purpose. So this is related to food culture. So this is all reflect the intelligence. This is all the manifestation of the wisdom of the ancients. So we found quite a large number of the pottery under the earth and the jade under earth, and we also found that bone tools and the road shape tools. So by utilizing and developing this kind of tools is make their life more sustainable. So this is actually kind of like the arrow. So that's for the archery. And also we could find that the bone needles and the hairpins. And so from the Song to the Ming Dynasty, still we talk about this is really could be found later on in the later part of the culture, the history. So we talk about actually people actually to get what they could use at their hands to make their life better. So today we invite Mr. Cheng to tell us a lot of knowledge of the ancient cities and also to show that the beauty and the cultural charm of the city. And due to the interest of time, this is the and of that the Pingliangtai site, and I hope that we could really invite the people. If you're interested, please experience by yourself here.